questions that you feel like I could answer, please feel free to reach out.
All right. Thank you very much, Craig. This is okay. Now I'm looking at the comments. Okay. I believe the Earth is a globe. I've been watching and I support it over. I can't believe you've been that stream that went on. How long did you stream before you stopped? Because you had to get some sleep, brother. Like 40 straight hours.
Well, I've done 3 lots of like 20 odd hours. Well, I'm on my 3rd set right now, so I've been going now since my last sleep for about 20 hours.
Okay, now just so I'm looking through the comments, that loud voice you heard in the background yelling and screaming, that was not me. That's my brother who's too cowardly to join this because he's a typical flat earther. Anytime, okay, again, he's the one that introduced me to flat earth. Okay. In Thanksgiving of 2023, I believe it was, we had a family gathering. Typically, I watch American football. We're Floridians, okay?
Yeah.
And on the screen, instead of the football game, was a YouTube video, a 6-hour documentary by Eric Dubé about the Earth being flat. After about an hour, I started laughing. I said, who's watching this and who actually believes this BS? And that's when my brother said, yeah, the Earth is definitely flat. Check out Eric Dubé. So I started to do, now immediately I said, okay, well, it's been a long time since I went to school. I know in my mind, that's what I was taught in school. And immediately, I thought, well, boats going over the horizon. We got images from space. I mean, so once I found all the talking points, because I then studied, okay, what are all the talking points that flat earthers say? Okay, there's a firmament. That Antarctica is a firmament. That Antarctica is a giant ice wall. How can you explain the Coriolis effect? Okay, as Floridians, how come a northern hemisphere hurricane will always go counterclockwise? They will never skip, not one hurricane ever has skipped the equator. Why? Because if it did, okay, let's say you have a Hurricane 5 hurricane. You got winds in the northern hemisphere spinning counterclockwise at 150 miles an hour. If it were to hypothetically, and it never has, skip the equator, it would have to come to a complete stop and then start spinning clockwise at 150 miles an hour. Show me when that's ever happened. Okay, then flat earthers will deny that you can fly from Sydney, Australia to Santiago, Chile. Okay, on a flat earth map, that flight looks impossible. But you can just look it up. You can go take that flight anytime you want. But then they say, well, it actually stops here and there. Okay, and then flat earthers, here's what they don't know. Why don't we fly over to Antarctic? Well, here's fucking why. Okay, there's something called ETOP. Okay, which means that not to mention if you're flying over to Antarctic, okay, jet engines use kerosene in their fuel, which will freeze up the fuel. Now you got an effing problem. If you're in the middle of the Antarctic, and one of your engines freezes up, you got one engine left. But you didn't follow ETOPS, meaning at any point in time, an airplane has to be within a certain distance or a certain time to make an emergency landing. That's why you don't get people flying over the Antarctic, period. So any flat earther listening to this right now, that's why we don't directly fly over to Antarctic. We do fly giant circle loops because, and if you look at those circle loops, it's always kind of hovering over some type of land or staying within the rules of ETOP, period. Okay, then the sun and the moon are local lights in the sky. That's a bunch of bullshit. Okay, now let's go ahead and say, well, flat earthers won't, acknowledge space. Okay, so I can't make that, I can't just say my proof is just look at the images from space because flat earthers deny space. Okay, boats going over the horizon. Nope, because they'll use the camera bullshit where you can zoom it in. Okay, so let's do all ground level and measurements. Okay, now if you go ahead and use the 8 inches per mile squared, which I believe is a plain surveying method, okay, over a distance of 15 miles, you will have a 150-foot drop. Now, we know if we're standing at sea level, our eyes can only see about 3 miles out to the horizon. So, of course, we can't see anything dropping over a 15-mile distance. But now let's use geodetic surveying, which measures the distance between 2 points in a curve or a circle. Okay, now when you run the formula to solve for calculate vertical curvature, which will be your H value, over distance, which will be D, in this case 15 miles, and you plug in the geodetic surveying math, okay, H equals D squared over 2R, you can then resolve, and guess what? When you resolve the formula, it comes out to be the same exact 150 feet drop. So how is it that you can use plain surveying, like Nathan Oakley does, and then you can apply the geodetic formula, which measures in a curve, and you still get the same exact 150-foot drop? Could it logically be that the Earth is curved?
Exactly. Yeah, you're right with everything you said. I'd like you to do me a favor though. Treasure your mum. Right, I lost mine last year,
no,
and my heart breaks. And your mum seemed absolutely fucking lovely, and I really think you should treasure your mum.
Everything.
Yeah,
she is my everything. Just like your wife Emma and your family means everything. My mom is, means everything to me. My dad unfortunately passed away. My biological dad. In October of 2008, my stepfather, who my mom was married to for 42 years, passed away. And he was an asshole, though. And even my mom will come back in here and tell you that. Passed away in February of last year. Okay, so, with my mom getting older, I moved in to help her with, her health and finances and stuff like that. So, because before my stepfather died, it's like, I'm a single person, currently in my 50s. So I was living on my own. I had no reason to move in here, but I wanted to help out mom. So I do treasure mom. It's my brother, the person that said, hey, the earth is flat. Look at the Eric Dubay video. That's too cowardly. We live in Florida. We used to live in the Tampa Bay area. I have traveled over the Sunshine Skyway Bridge hundreds of times. Okay, I challenged you in a super chat yesterday. Okay, Google or ask any AI. Okay, did the design and the architects of the new Sunshine Skyway Bridge, did they have to account for the curvature of the Earth? The answer is going to be yes.
Of course.
Because now David Weiss, I just watched a video. He said you can use plain surveying, and it'll be accurate 1,000 miles out. Bullshit. Okay, there's Florida law. It doesn't work after you go 12 miles out. That's why there's actually Florida statute. If you're going to get a permit to build anything like the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, which actually spans 14 miles connecting the southern tip of Pinellas County to the northern tip of Manatee County. Okay, for the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, if you Google or ask any AI, it will tell you 100% conclusively, yes. And the lead designers were Fig and Mueller. They had to use geodetic surveying, which measures that curve. So at any degree where you're placing the pylons, you can get the exact pinpoint accuracy of the exact curve to line up the bridge. I mean, it's very simplistic.
Flat earthers are even more simplistic. They don't understand anything. So what about your brother? Any chance of having a conversation with him? I heard him shouting in the background.
Well, he's going to probably yell and scream.
I'm okay with that.
Let me see if I can get him. Now, keep in mind, he is a true flirt. He's going to react just like flirters. He's going to yell and scream. And
dude, that's what I do.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get him. John, there he is.
Debating my beliefs with some fucking retard. Get that guy out of my face.
No,
hey, chill out, dude. How you doing? What's your name?
Listen, it's flat and level. That's all there's debate.
Well, it's not flat. I've measured the shape of the Earth, buddy. Hey, John, come back. John, come back.
John, come on. See what I mean?
Tell John that I've measured the shape of the Earth myself, personally.
John, Craig has measured the shape of his Earth personally. What do you have to say to that?
Whatever the fuck you want to believe, I'll believe whatever the fuck I want to believe. He wants to debate people. Don't debate people that debate that shit, not me.
I want to debate you, John, because you sound like a bit of a douchebag.
John, he said you're a douchebag. Why don't you debate him? Why are you being a coward? See, he won't debate you, Craig. Now, I just wanted to clarify because I see in the comments people were saying it's the son that, no. Yeah, it's my mom's son, not me, my brother John. So
your brother John sounds a bit screwed up, frankly. Sorry.
He is your he's going to react like a typical flat earther. Like if I bring up as soon as I say anything about, like I offered, since he's a flat earther and you provided free links to read Nathan Oakley's book, I said, wow, John, you're a flat earther. I can give you a copy of Nathan Oakley's book. He won't even accept it, which doesn't make any sense to me. If you're a flat earther, wouldn't you want to read one of your, the people that you put on a high pedestal? But
you just ask John why he thinks the Earth is flat. I just love to hear why he thinks it. I don't tell him I don't want to debate him. Tell him I just want to know why he thinks it.
John, why is the Earth flat?
I'm getting the truth. Watching a fucking movie and you want me to debate.
Wait, he's just asking one question. Why do you think the Earth is flat? No, he's asking you.
John, my name's Craig. How are you doing?
He won't answer you, Craig. This is going to be freaking... Make sure you make a clip of this entire thing.
I think Rubik's probably will. Try just once more. Tell him my name's Craig and I want a civil conversation with him. I don't want to debate. I just want a conversation.
I will try, but I'm already going to predict now he's going to yell and scream, but I will try one more time. John, he's saying he wants to have a civil debate with you without no yelling. Will you do that? No, he's asking you. John.
Nobody, John. No.
Listen, he wants to debate you. Why won't you debate him? He just wants one. Okay.
Don't debate. Whoever fucking finds. Obviously, you can't find anybody to debate. Yeah.
Dude, Craig has debated every flat earther on the platform. He wants to know why you think the Earth is flat. Give him one reason.
All right, if he doesn't want to, then let's just leave him alone. He seems like he's very angry.
Yeah, well, you asked me to try, and I told you.
You tried, but hey, I would have just liked a civil conversation with the guy. But if he doesn't want to, it's fine.
Okay, well, since I'm on with you, if you could talk to, I've never talked to you, and I have never gone on any panel to debate anybody. First of all, I want you to tell me, who do you think the worst, your top 5 worst flat earthers are on YouTube? Or TikTok?
Well, it's hard. They're all bad, but Nathan Oakley's probably the worst.
Yeah, I would say Nathan Oakley, then Flat Earth Dave, cringy Angels of Light, Angels of Shite, as they say. Nathan Thompson. Who else is out there that ding dong? They're all idiots. Every single one of them is an idiot.
Yeah, they are. Oh, right. Well, if there's no one to debate, and your mum seems lovely. I think it was just a bit maybe a miscommunication with what your mum thinks, and your brother clearly just is stuck in his ways and doesn't want to debate. I didn't want to harass. I just wanted to see if I could have get him to have a civil conversation, because I like to try and change people's minds, but he clearly doesn't want to, and that's cool. So I'll just say thank you to you for trying to have a conversation with them, and I'll move on for now. But thank you for the support you've given me as well, bud. All right.
All right. Are you going to end this now then? Or I did have a few questions for you.
All right. Well, I'll do you a few questions, but now I need to get back on with the stream.
Okay. What question did I have? Okay. Do you think Flat Earth Dave, for example, Do you think he's an absolute grifter and he actually knows the truth, that he's using optical illusions and just tricking people? And his whole thing is a marketing strategy to sell his flat earth clock app, which, by the way, people just like Craig, or just like I think it was you, Craig, and also McToon, do not download Flat Earth Dave's clock app. Otherwise, unless you want all your personal information to be available and all your data being swiped out, like you said, you know exactly where Flat Earth Dave lives.
Yeah. So what was the question? Sorry.
Dave Weiss actually knows the truth.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think Dave Weiss is a true flat earther. I think he's figured his niche, he's figured his grift, and he preys on the gullible people like your brother.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, I guess that, I mean, because I'm not going to debate you, because
Oh yeah, obviously not. No.
You know, I mean, all the evidence, 100%, I can say with certainty, the Earth is a globe, or if you want to betterly technically define it, a geoid. Nothing shows that the Earth is flat. The 24-hour sun. Okay, and this is the last thing I'll say about this. The 24-hour sun, Eric Dubay, Nathan Oakley, Dave Weiss, they all denied there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctic until the final experiment. And right in the beginning of Nathan's book, where I think he names McToon McBuffoon, Nathan, where's the guns? Okay, and to this very day, you don't hear them talking about the 24-hour sun. It seems to me flat earthers have now deflected to aviation. Have you noticed that trend? No one mentions Antarctic. It's all about aviation. They don't understand aviation. They think, a level flight is following the curvature of the Earth, where you're keeping it horizontal, and level. Okay, if you haven't seen it, go to Nathan Oakley's live stream he did about 3 days ago, where it says Flat Earth Debate, I think it's 2586, where he tries to define which has been defined this way for 167 years in Merriam-Webster's dictionary. He tries to define the word level, which is no part higher than another, conforming to the liquid curvature of the Earth's surface. Now, it's amazing because he butchers the word conforming with comport. How can it be higher and lower and? It doesn't say and. It's higher and no part higher than another, semicolon, conforming. Although he uses the word comport. He doesn't even not only does he know the definition, he can't even pronounce the word conforming. That's all I'll say. He's a fucking idiot. Thank you, Craig.
You're right. Well, thank you very much. Do me a favor. Go and give your mum a hug. Tell her she's awesome. And maybe try and get your brother some psychiatric help.
He definitely. There's no convincing him. After the Eric debate, which, keep in mind, he's the one that introduced me to Flat Earth. So now when I did all my homework and I'm trying to tell him, you're wrong. Okay, you see, as soon as I bring up the subject, you see how he reacts. Just like a flat earther, yelling, screaming, non-stop yelling and screaming, period. Okay, have a great day. Keep on rocking and rolling, dude.
Cheers, dude. Tell your mum that she's awesome.
Thank you.
Speak to you later.